This is the Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3 with Ryzen 7 processor, and believe it or not, this thing is still being sold brand new in 2026. Now on paper, Ryzen 7 sounds impressive. 8 cores, 16 threads, 16 gigs of RAM in this configuration. That sounds like a lot of power for the money. But here's the real question. Is this actually still a smart buy today? Or are you just paying for old tech with a good name on it? I'm going to break it down, and most importantly, I'm going to tell you exactly who this laptop is for and who should absolutely skip it. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so let's take a closer look at the Lenovo Idea Slim 3. First impression, this is a clean, simple laptop. It's not flashy, it's not trying to look futuristic, and honestly, I kind of like that. It looks professional. The body is mostly plastic, but it doesn't feel cheap or flimsy. There's a little bit of flex if you really press on it, but in normal use, it feels completely solid. It's also fairly lightweight for a 15.6-inch laptop. It's not ultra thin like a premium laptop, but it's slim enough to throw in a backpack without feeling like you're carrying a brick. This feels like a practical everyday machine, something built for work, school, or just general home use. On the sides, you get a good selection of ports. You've got USB ports for things like a mouse, a flash drive, HDMI if you want to plug it into a monitor or TV, and a headphone jack. That's important because some newer laptops are starting to remove ports, and then you're stuck buying adapters. With this one, most people can just plug in what they need without even thinking about it. Typing on this keyboard feels comfortable. The keys are spaced out nicely and they have a good amount of travel, meaning when you press them, it doesn't feel flat or mushy. If you're writing emails, working in Word, or even typing for long periods, this should feel just fine. The trackpad is responsive, it's smooth, it tracks your finger well, and the clicks feel normal again. Not luxury level, but absolutely usable for everyday tasks. This is a 15.6-inch full HD touchscreen. In simple terms, that means the picture looks sharp enough for daily use. Watching YouTube, Netflix, scrolling through websites, everything looks clear, text is easy to read. The touchscreen is responsive, it registers taps quickly, and it's nice to have that option if you don't use it all the time. Now, is this the brightest and most color accurate screen out there? No, it's not. This is not premium OLED display, but indoors, sitting at a desk, it looks completely fine. Most everyday users are not going to complain about this screen. All right, so now this is the fun part. Performance, which is really what matters. This model has a Ryzen 7 processor and 16 gigabytes of RAM. What does that mean in normal language? Well, that means that you can open a bunch of tabs, stream videos, work on documents, check email, maybe even edit some photos, and this laptop doesn't feel slow. I had multiple Chrome tabs open, YouTube playing in the background, and I was switching between apps, and it stayed smooth. It boots up quickly, programs open up fast. It doesn't feel like it's struggling to keep up. This is the kind of laptop where you don't have to think about closing everything just to open up one more thing. That's really where the 16 gigabytes of RAM helps. You can multitask comfortably for students, people working at home, or just someone who uses their laptop daily. This feels more than capable. Now, I want to make sure that this is loud and clear. This is not a gaming laptop. It can handle light games or older titles, but if you're looking to play the latest big AAA games on high settings, this is not the machine for that. Same thing with heavy-duty video editing or professional level 3D work. It can do basic stuff, but that's not what it's built for. This is a productivity and everyday use laptop. The speakers are decent. They get loud enough for watching YouTube or doing Zoom calls. Just don't expect deep bass or room-filling sound, but for normal use, they're fine. The webcam is what you would expect at this price point, perfectly usable for video calls, meetings, and online classes. Battery life depends on how you use it. If you're just browsing the web, watching videos, and doing light work, you can get through most of the day without charging. If you're pushing it harder, lots of multitasking, brightness is turned up, maybe even like heavier apps, you'll probably want to keep the charger nearby. It's not a leave the charger at home for 2 days kind of laptop, but for normal daily use, it's reasonable. This model comes with a 512 gigabyte solid state drive. For most people, 512 gigs is plenty for documents, photos, and everyday use. If you store a lot of movies in large files, you might eventually need external storage, but for the average person, this is a comfortable amount. So after spending some time with it, this laptop doesn't feel outdated. It feels practical. It feels fast enough for modern everyday use. It's not flashy, it's not premium, but it doesn't feel slow. And that's what most people actually care about. I absolutely needed a new laptop and this is perfect for me. It's simple, affordable, and in fact, I paid under $500 for it at Best Buy. It was totally worth it for me. Alright, so here's the deal. The Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 7 with Ryzen 7 is not cutting edge. It's not flashy, it's not premium, but for the right person, this is still a very solid machine. If you're a student, someone working from home, browsing, streaming, using Office, doing light creative work, this laptop has more than enough power. It feels fast, it multitasks well, and 16 gigs of RAM at this price point, it's still a pretty big win. Where it falls short is that the display isn't amazing. The build is budget, battery life is decent, not incredible. And if you're gaming or doing heavy video editing, this is not the machine for you. So is it still worth buying in 2026? If the price is right, yes. If it's priced close to newer generation laptops, then I'd skip it and go newer. This isn't a hype laptop, it's a practical one. And sometimes that's exactly what people need. Not everything has to be the newest thing on the shelf. Sometimes good enough is actually more than enough. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. If you have any questions or comments, just go ahead and put that down below. I want to thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you on the next one.